G'day everybody, my name is Elliot Waters and you're listening to the Dysregulated podcast. As always, thank you for tuning in. Now, apologies from the outset. My voice is not very good today. I'm very croaky, but at the same time, the reason for my voice being like this is very, very relevant to the subject material I want to touch on today. But at the same time, I am acutely aware that this may not be the easiest voice to listen to during this episode. But if you do listen, I really, really appreciate it. If you're a first-time listener, can I also just say, don't judge me on this episode alone, okay? But as I said, this croaky voice is directly, it's the dry mouth too. This is going to be hard. So as I said, nice and succinct and quick. I'll try and keep this episode. Anyway, I'm waffling on too much now. What was I going to say? Yes, the voice is directly related to what I'm about to talk about. So I'm going to try and get through it as quick as I can. Okay, so on the weekend, on Saturday, so for a bit of context, today's Tuesday, but on Saturday, I went and watched my favourite team, my rugby league team. At the footy, I went and watched the Newcastle Knights take on the St George Illawarra Dragons. And the good thing is the Knights won 30-10. So I am still very happy about that. But the best news of all, though, is not only did I actually make it to the game, which is an achievement in itself, but I took my banner, the Pride of the Hunter banner, as well. So just to sort of explain that, the Hunter, so the Newcastle Knights, Newcastle is my team. Newcastle is situated within the Hunter region. Then the Hunter region is situated within New South Wales. And obviously New South Wales is a state of Australia. So Newcastle Knights, Pride of the Hunter, because the team is representing the Hunter. Newcastle is the capital of the Hunter region. Okay, all right, I've got that out of the road. So me being a very passionate and proud Newcastle Knights supporter, I, of course, made a banner quite a few years ago now that says Pride of the Hunter. It's got me on TV a lot of times. It's got me in the Knights calendar one year. You know, people have recognised me in public before and said, "Oh, you're that guy with the banner." Hell yeah, it is. You know, the Newcastle Knights and the banner itself too is very much, or has been typically very much, a part of my identity. That's for sure. You know, the whole Knights fan is another of those personas that I sort of wear. But the last couple of seasons, the last two in particular, I've noticed I haven't been going to games very much. And I certainly haven't been taking the banner. And that to me, right, so the Knights, I think I've said this before in an episode, but the Knights are very much, and how engaged I am in the team and the club and how the footy season's going, that is very much like a litmus test to sort of judge and a metric I look at to see how my mood is sort of tracking. If I'm not going to Knights games or I'm not invested in the result, so, you know, we get flogged and I don't really care, that tells me that we're slipping. It's an early sign that things are slipping a little bit. Now, me going to games, alternatively, is a sign that things are going pretty good. And then me going to games with the banner means that we're going great. We are going great guns. And I took the banner on Saturday night, which is a great sign. The reason being, why this all sort of makes sense is, you know, one of my many afflictions is social anxiety disorder. So going to a football stadium with 30,000 people when you've got social anxiety disorder can be difficult. And it's not always comfortable for me. It probably never will be completely comfortable. But, you know, mostly, you know, I go and I push out my comfort zone. I watch a great game of football. I cheer on my team, hence the voice being a bit rough today and the last couple of days. And I'm able to push beyond the fact that, you know, maybe being in that environment isn't the most natural thing for me. But, you know, I love the Mighty Knights. Let's go. Let's go watch our team. We're going to kill it. Newcastle. So, although it's a bad sign if I don't go to games or I'm not invested in the result, the opposite is true as well. And me taking the banner is huge because, you know, when I go when I just go to a game ordinarily, yeah, I feel like there's 30,000 people sort of judging me, but I can push past that because, you know, no one really cares what each other are doing. I'm not drawing attention to myself except when I yell very loudly. You know, but I'm just another fan. But as soon as I take that big banner with me, you know, I'm pretty much putting that in the air and saying, everybody look at me, I'm the world's biggest fan. Well, what really I'm thinking and saying is, look at this, Newcastle Knights supporters are so passionate. we've got so much pride in our team. Go the boys. But, at the same time, it's also a bit of a look at me sort of thing too. Even if it wasn't really meant for that, it's just part of the deal. So if I'm able to go to games, I'm able to yell out like I did on Saturday, hence my voice. If I'm able to take this big banner and sort of hold it up high and be like, yep, this is my team, this is my city, this is my region, God's country, Newcastle, Hunter, New South Wales, Australia. If I'm able to go to the games and take the banner with me, that is nothing but a good sign. Don't get me wrong, that's not the complete story. There's other things that might suggest things aren't going as well, or, this isn't the be all and end all. It's not. But at the same time, it is a great sign, and that's exactly what happened on the weekend. So, and what's really been good this season is so this was the first game I've taken the banner, but I've really been invested in the results. That lingering anhedonia from my depressive sort of recurrent episodes seems to have cleared up, which is great. And again, that's the metric for, the social anxiety metric is more about the banner, but the anhedonia sort of, am I depressed or am I really engaging in the world? One of the metrics I use among many is if I'm invested in the Newcastle Knights, which I tell you at the moment, I bloody am. It is amazing. So that's why I've got a really hoarse voice. And if you've listened this far, I tell you, I thank you so much. Again, if you're a first-time listener, do not judge me on this performance only. My angelic voice will be back to its best soon, I'm sure. But I wanted to get this out there because I wanted to, I'm wearing this sore throat and potential laryngitis, at the very least vocal fatigue. I'm wearing this croaky voice with pride because I'm croaky because I gave it my all to get my team across the line, which they did. They won. And, it's great that, because this is what I should be doing. This is Elliot, I'm a passionate guy. I've got hot emotions running. I've got BPD, for God's sakes, among everything else. Like, this is serious stuff for me. This means a lot. So it's really great that I was able to get there and cheer on my team and let the referee know that the opposition were offside. It's not my fault. The referee couldn't see, in my opinion, that the opposition were offside. So someone had to tell him. So it was me. I was happy to put my hand up and say, listen, sir, in words sort of maybe not like that. The opposition are offside. How about you blow us a penalty, eh? That sort of stuff. There's a lot of that going on the sidelines. There was another point I was going to make, which has just disappeared from me. What was it? It was going to be, just a little sort of ironic sort of thing. So I take this banner, as I said, to games, Pride of the Hunter. I'm not the only person that takes banners to the games, but, there's not many of us. Now, my mother used to joke that all the people that take banners to the games, other than me, are all autistic, and that I should join my autistic friends when I take the banner because, I don't know, mum and dad get a bit antsy because I get a bit loud at games, and, I understand. So usually I sit with my mates and stuff anyway. But I just find it so ironic that mum said that me taking the banner, makes me like the autistic people, when in the end, joke's on you, mum. I am autistic. I was autistic this whole time, and we knew it. It was right in front of us. And this is another example. Mum saying I should hang out with the autistic people. It's like, yes, actually, you're right. I should, because I am one of them. All right, that's it for this episode. If you've listened this far, seriously, you're an absolute legend. I appreciate it. The next episode, the vocal cords will be back to their best, I promise. Thank you for listening as always, and go the Knights. I'll see you next time here on the Dysregulated podcast.